What if the key to silencing your joint pain wasn't in your medicine cabinet, but in your snack drawer? Sounds crazy, right? But emerging research suggests one overlooked snack may hold powerful anti-inflammatory secrets your doctor never told you about. Seniors across the U.S. are quietly swapping their painkillers for this humble pantry favorite and reporting real results. So before you pop another pill or reach for that heating pad, stick around, because this one surprising snack might just change everything about how you fight arthritis. Let me take you back to last year, January. My dad, 67 years old, was waking up every morning with stiff knees, swollen fingers, and a grimace that never seemed to leave his face. He tried everything: over-the-counter painkillers, heating pads, turmeric pills, even expensive collagen supplements from late-night infomercials. Nothing stuck. His mornings felt like a slow crawl through molasses, and our family had gotten used to hearing him mutter, "Getting old isn't for the weak." Then one afternoon, while waiting in line at our local grocery store, I spotted something weird. A woman ahead of me, maybe in her early 70s, had loaded her cart with nothing but one thing: tart cherries. Not pies, not preserves, just bag after bag of dried tart cherries. Curious, I asked her what the deal was. She smiled and said, "It's the only thing that makes my knees stop screaming." That line stuck with me. I had no idea that something so simple, so ordinary, could pack that kind of power. When I got home, I did what most of us do when we're skeptical. I Googled it, and here's where it got interesting. A 2012 study published in the journal Osteoarthritis and Cartilage found that patients with osteoarthritis of the knee who consumed tart cherry juice twice daily for 21 days experienced a significant reduction in inflammation markers, especially C-reactive protein, CRP. That's one of the main signals your body sends out when it's inflamed, and it's not just a one-off study. The Journal of Functional Foods published research showing that participants who consumed 240 ml of tart cherry juice daily saw reductions in blood markers of inflammation and oxidative stress after only 2 weeks. That's no small thing, especially when chronic inflammation is the villain behind nearly every case of arthritis and joint pain. So what's in tart cherries that makes them so special? They're rich in anthocyanins, potent antioxidants that give the cherries their deep red color and also help reduce inflammation in the body. Think of anthocyanins like tiny firefighters traveling through your bloodstream, hosing down the flames of inflammation. But here's the kicker. Most people ignore tart cherries because they're not sweet. They're tangy, a little sour, and they don't give you that instant sugar high like cookies or chips. But what they lack in sweetness, they make up for in joint-soothing power. When I shared this with my dad, he was skeptical. "Fruit? Really?" he scoffed, but he agreed to try it. We started simple: one small handful of dried tart cherries in the morning and another in the evening. No pills, no complex rituals, just a snack. 2 weeks in, he woke up and stretched and realized he hadn't felt that deep ache in his knees. A month later, he was mowing the lawn again without needing to ice his knees afterward. He even stopped reaching for ibuprofen every morning. It was subtle, but steady. And that's the magic of this snack. It doesn't punch you in the face with instant relief. It works quietly, consistently, until one day you realize it's not hurting like it used to. But tart cherries aren't the only snack with this kind of impact. In the next section, we'll explore a crunchy companion that's likely already in your pantry and maybe working against you if you choose the wrong kind. Stay with me. Let's talk about another snack that's everywhere in America, almost inescapable: nuts. From almond butter on toast to those little bags of trail mix we keep in our cars, nuts have earned their place as a healthy go-to. But here's what no one tells you. Not all nuts are created equal when it comes to joint health. In fact, some may be quietly fueling your pain. Let me explain. Nuts are packed with healthy fats, sure. But there's a line between the kinds of fats that fight inflammation and the ones that fuel it. And here's the kicker. Many popular packaged nut snacks are roasted in vegetable oils, like soybean or sunflower oil, both of which are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 isn't inherently evil. Our bodies need it. But the problem is balance. The typical American diet has way too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3, the anti-inflammatory counterpart. According to research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, this imbalance creates the perfect storm for chronic inflammation, including in your joints. So when you're munching on roasted peanuts coated in salt and fried in vegetable oil, you might be feeding the very pain you're trying to escape. I learned this the hard way. My neighbor, Paula, 67 years old, super active, loves her gardening, came over one day limping. When I asked her what changed, she shrugged and said, "Nothing except I've been snacking more since I'm off my feet, mostly mixed nuts." We checked the label. Sure enough, roasted in soybean oil, canola oil, and corn oil. 3 inflammation bombs in one handful. I suggested she switch to raw walnuts. Why walnuts? They're not just a crunchy snack, they're packed with plant-based omega-3s, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. A 2017 study from Nutrients showed that ALA can significantly reduce inflammation markers and help lower the risk of rheumatoid arthritis progression. Paula made the switch. No salt, no oils, just a small handful of raw walnuts every afternoon. Within 3 weeks, she wasn't limping anymore. That's how powerful these small changes can be. So here's what to do. If you're reaching for a snack, skip anything roasted in oils or salted to death. Instead, choose raw walnuts or almonds, or better yet, combine them with dried tart cherries from part 1. You'll create a snack that doesn't just fill you up, it actively works to cool inflammation from the inside out. Think of it this way. Every bite you take is either fighting pain or feeding it. Your pantry is a pharmacy. You just have to know which aisle to walk down. And if you're still wondering if snacks can make that big of a difference, you haven't heard what I'm about to share next. Because part 3 dives into an ancient seed that's exploded in popularity recently, and for good reason. Coming up next, the tiny crunch that packs a joint-soothing punch. All right, let's talk about seeds. Not just any seeds, chia seeds. Those tiny little specks you used to see in novelty plant commercials, remember Chia Pets, are now taking over shelves in health food stores across America. But what most people don't know is just how much of a powerhouse these little guys are, especially when it comes to joint pain relief. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could something so tiny possibly do anything? But here's the wild part. Chia seeds are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids available. And if you remember from part 2, omega-3s are critical for fighting inflammation at the cellular level. Let's dig into the science. A 2021 meta-analysis published in the journal Clinical Nutrition confirmed that higher dietary intake of omega-3s significantly reduces the severity of rheumatoid arthritis symptoms, including joint swelling and morning stiffness. While most people think of salmon or fish oil as the best sources, chia seeds are a game changer for those who want a plant-based, easy-to-digest option. But omega-3s are just the beginning. Chia seeds are also packed with magnesium, calcium, and antioxidants, all of which support not only bone density, but also help reduce oxidative stress in joint tissues. Oxidative stress is like rust building up inside your joints. It accelerates degeneration and keeps the pain cycle going. Antioxidants stop that rusting process cold. And here's the part I love the most. Chia seeds are ridiculously easy to use. You don't have to make green smoothies or fancy yogurt parfaits, though you could. You can just sprinkle them on your oatmeal, mix them into peanut butter, or add them to water with a splash of lemon. Boom. Snack upgrade complete. Let me tell you about Janet, one of our subscribers who sent in her story. She's 72, lives in Arizona, and had been dealing with stiff wrists and elbow pain for years. She wrote to us saying, "I started adding 1 tablespoon of chia seeds to my breakfast every morning. 2 weeks in, I could finally make it through my knitting club without having to take a break." That's the kind of real-life result we're seeing from people making one small change. But one warning here, don't go overboard. Chia seeds absorb 10 to 12 times their weight in water. That's why they form that jelly-like texture in pudding recipes. If you eat them dry in large quantities, you risk digestive discomfort or dehydration. Stick to 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, and always drink plenty of water with them. Still skeptical? You're not alone. It sounds almost too simple, too natural to be effective. But often the simplest foods are the ones our bodies were meant to work with all along. So now you've got tart cherries, raw walnuts, and chia seeds. 3 anti-inflammatory snacks that don't just sit in your stomach. They go to work in your joints. But what if I told you there's one final snack, sweet, creamy, and beloved in lunchboxes, that not only helps reduce pain, but also supports your gut, which plays a surprising role in how much joint pain you feel? Let's end with a classic, a snack you probably loved as a kid and may have completely overlooked as an adult. Plain Greek yogurt. Yep, yogurt. But not just any yogurt. I'm talking about the thick, unsweetened kind packed with live active cultures. The kind that makes your gut and your joints very happy. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, well, what does yogurt have to do with my knees? Let me explain. Scientists have recently been digging into the gut-joint connection, and what they're finding is stunning. A groundbreaking 2021 study published in Frontiers in Immunology revealed that patients with rheumatoid arthritis had markedly different gut bacteria compared to healthy individuals. Specifically, they had lower levels of beneficial bacteria and higher levels of harmful inflammatory strains. Why does this matter? Because about 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. And when your gut is inflamed or imbalanced, it can trigger inflammation in distant parts of your body, like your joints. Now, here's where Greek yogurt comes in. Greek yogurt is rich in probiotics, the good bacteria your gut needs to function properly. These little microbes help reduce inflammation, support immune balance, and even lower levels of cytokines, proteins that contribute to joint damage and pain. It's not just theory. A 2020 study in Nutrients found that probiotic supplementation reduced joint stiffness and pain in adults with osteoarthritis. And guess what? Greek yogurt delivers those probiotics in a tasty, natural, food-based form. But there's more. Greek yogurt is also high in calcium and protein, both essential for maintaining strong bones and lean muscle mass, key to supporting joints as you age. Plus, it's low in sugar if you choose the right kind. And that's important. Here's the trap. Most commercial yogurts are sugar bombs in disguise. You know the kind. Fruit on the bottom, dessert sweet, more sugar than a donut. That's the kind that feeds inflammation, not fights it. What you want is plain, full-fat Greek yogurt, preferably organic, with live cultures listed on the label. No flavoring, no added sugar, just the good stuff. One more bonus? You can combine this snack with the others you've already learned. Toss in some tart cherries, sprinkle in some chia seeds, maybe even add a few raw walnuts, and suddenly you've built a powerful anti-inflammatory snack bowl, a trifecta of joint pain relief. I had a subscriber named Ron, 63, former construction worker, bad knees, bad back. He emailed me to say he'd replaced his nightly ice cream habit with a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt topped with a few cherries and seeds. In 2 months, he dropped 10 pounds, cut his ibuprofen in half, and told me, I didn't think food could do that much. But now I'm a believer. That's the kind of transformation. This isn't just about eating better. It's about using food as fuel for healing. And here's the real takeaway. Your joint pain doesn't have to define your life. Sometimes the answers aren't found in a prescription bottle or a physical therapy clinic. Sometimes they're sitting quietly in your fridge or pantry, waiting to be rediscovered. Tart cherries, raw walnuts, chia seeds, Greek yogurt, not miracle cures, but tools. Simple, accessible, science-backed tools that work with your body, not against it. But we're not done yet, because if you found this video helpful, there's something you can do right now to take the next step. So there you have it. 4 simple snacks that could completely shift the way your joints feel, move, and age. No gimmicks, no miracle cures, just real science-backed foods that fight inflammation from the inside out. If you're tired of waking up stiff, living on painkillers, or feeling like joint pain is just part of getting older, know this: you have more control than you think. And it might start with what's in your snack bowl. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss more natural, science-backed tips like this. This is Arthritis Relief Daily, and we're here to help you move better, live stronger, and take back your life, one bite at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.